Ronda Rousey isn't the only one with a new book coming out, because Becky has a book, and what goes around comes around. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. Lately, Ronda Rousey has been acting like a bitch bashing the WWE, so Becky Lynch has acted like the man and put Ronda in her place. So we've seen Ronda Rousey come out lately and talk about the WWE very negatively, had nothing good to say about the company, just bashed the company, bashed the people in the company, pretty much bashed everything regarding and relating WWE. And I don't know why, because WWE paid her well for like the 4 years she was there. She's put a lot of money into her bank account thanks to WWE, but I guess she needs to sell books. I guess she needs to try and be controversial or whatnot. So it is what it is, but Becky Lynch is also being controversial. She's selling her own book. She's defending her own company. She was on the MMA Hour and she discussed Ronda Rousey's first run with the WWE after leaving the UFC, and she went on to say that Ronda Rousey could not wrestle. So that's what Becky Lynch had to say on the matter. Quote, "She was coming off at a different industry. She was a star and she should have been handled differently in terms of, I think she had such a great first outing that everybody thought, oh, she can wrestle. But I mean this with respect. She could not wrestle. What we do isn't something that you can just have one good match and then, okay, yeah, I'm off to the races. It's a craft, and you have to learn your craft, and you have to be diligent about learning your craft. But everybody treated Ronda like she already knew it, because she came in first and she had a good match in the first bout, and she was also working with Kurt Angle, she was working with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. It was a well-rehearsed match because everybody wanted her to succeed. And then it was, oh, okay, she can do this, off to the races. And that was mishandling her because she was a star in her own right and she'd done so much for MMA. So in terms of that and booking, that wasn't done well. But my experience coming from nobody, thinking that I was going to be worth anything and making myself very valuable to the company and very valuable to wrestling in general, it's because I loved it. Because I loved it and I sought out to do it. She came in and I think she's found a place that she enjoyed, she liked, but she never sought to do it from a young age. And I think that changes the experience that you have when you go into a place. End of quote. So Becky Lynch there laying down the law, and I don't really disagree with her. I think she is right. First of all, Ronda Rousey didn't have this like fast experience in wrestling. Yeah, she was in MMA and she had a good judo background, but I mean, you don't need MMA, you don't need judo, you don't need any of the mixed martial arts to be good in WWE. At the end of the day, Becky Lynch is right. It is about learning craft. No one will really step into a WWE ring and be good and be great straight away. You look at the likes of Logan Paul and Bad Bunny. They put on good matches, but both of those guys are athletic and they both had really good opponents, and you can guarantee, because how popular they are, their matches have probably been rehearsed a lot, and no doubt trainers and road agents have been heavily involved in those matches. So yeah, you can come in, and if you have the right opponent, you can be good. But I think Becky Lynch is right. She went in with Kurt Angle, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Now Stephanie McMahon by no means is this like phenomenal wrestler, but she's Stephanie McMahon, you know, she's got that McMahon value. Then you've got Kurt Angle, possibly the greatest wrestler of all time. And then you've got Triple H, a guy with 14 world titles. He ain't too bad either, despite Bret Hart constantly bashing the game. So she was in that match, and also, I mean, a lot of that match, she wasn't actually in the ring. Yeah, towards the end she was in, and they had their spots, and it was like almost becoming an intergender match at some parts. But for the most part, it was more just like her appearance and the prospect of her getting in the ring and getting physical with Stephanie McMahon. But like I said, for the majority of the match, it was kind of Kurt Angle getting his ass whipped. So yeah, the visual effects were good. Ronda Rousey pacing about the ring, waiting for the tag, wanting to get her hands on Stephanie. And when she got in, some of the offense was good. And it was a really good match. I think it's probably the best mixed tag match I've ever seen. That's how good I think the match was. But you can see after that match, when they get away from the main stage of WrestleMania, when Ronda Rousey gets away from guys like Triple H and Kurt Angle, and when Ronda Rousey has to go alone in the ring rather than have a tag team partner, and rather than spending more time on the ring apron than she did in the ring, we quickly seen that Ronda Rousey just wasn't that good after all. Now, yes, she was athletic, yes, she could do a lot of moves, but just in terms of psychology, in terms of working a match, she wasn't that great. She was good. I think for the amount of time and effort she put in, she was good. And I think she probably was actually better in her first run than she was in her second run, which is really weird. I'm not going to sit here and say that Ronda Rousey was a terrible wrestler. There's been way worse, and especially if you compare her to women, there's been some women that have been on the indie scenes for like a decade, and Ronda Rousey looked better than them after a year. But if you're going to compare Ronda Rousey to like the cream of the crop, then she wasn't really there. And I do think that a lot of people got carried away because of that first match. So yeah, I do agree with Becky Lynch. Ronda Rousey's been coming out bashing WWE. I think it's only fair that Becky Lynch comes out in return and bashes rowdy Ronda Rousey. Maybe we'll get a rematch in the Octagon. That'd be pretty cool. Becky versus Ronda in the UFC. I'd pay to watch it. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Being Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching, and peace.